It's Rick Spence on the Startup Canada Tour in Kitchener, Ontario. We have Regier. He's the Director of Economic Development for the City of Kitchener, and they've got an exciting concept that they're working on called Startup City. So we all know that the whole region here is a huge hub for innovation and startups. Tell us what Startup City is all about.
So Startup City is our attempt to wrap our arms around the startups coming out of our community. We've got a vital, dynamic, large and growing startup community, and we want to make sure that they don't slip through our fingers. We want to make sure that we provide them with the kind of environment that makes them feel secure and is the place that is obviously where they have to grow. What are the services that we can offer them to make sure that they are able to get through some of their hurdles? You know, some of them are formed and are growing in some of the local incubator spaces like the Communitech Hub, or sometimes they're in their kitchens and their basements. When they reach out beyond that space, we want to make sure that they have good landing pad space that is affordable, but at the same time pretty cool, because you know they've got high expectations now, and that is close to the rest of their community. It's close to their mentors, close to their finance people. It's close to the experts that surround them and that they use to grow their business.
And I think that from what I understand, that the idea of the Startup City and leveraging this innovative tech community we have, it's affecting a lot of things in the city, including the urban landscape. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we now have developers buying properties in the downtown, putting some cool retail at grade, and then building out 2 or 3 or 4 stories of space that's going to be moderately priced, designed specifically for startups graduating out of their basements, right? So actually the development community is responding by building a city which is able to absorb the startup community. We've completely reconstructed King Street in order to make it a cool, cafe-oriented space where we can provide live entertainment and the kind of amenities that we think are important for young people coming or building small companies. So it's a part of actually city building is foundational to supporting a startup community.
And just tell me a little bit about how economic development participates in the whole community that we've got here with Communitech and the universities and the other resources that we have here. Does Startup City mean that you are trying to be really well meshed, that you're playing well together?
Oh yeah. Startup City is all hands on deck supporting startups. Communitech is a really key piece of the puzzle, but it's also making sure that our small business center, which is a little bit has a broader area of interest and capacity, is plugged in. We work really closely with the universities in our community, with our chambers of commerce, with individual stakeholders and people entrepreneurs who are philanthropic. We have an exciting group of angel investors who are supporting the community as well. We host them here at City Hall. We host them in some of our new projects down at the Communitech Hub. So it's really a matter of wrapping all of the stakeholders, working with all of the stakeholders who are here to support the startup community in this effort.
Fabulous. Startup Canada has a mandate to try and remove some of the barriers and obstacles that prevent startups from succeeding. And we will be looking in the fall to try and identify some of the projects that we might get involved with in order to help entrepreneurs and create a startup climate. Based on your experience, can you think of any particular projects that we should be applying ourselves to?
Well, that's a trick question. That's fantastic. You know what, I think there's got to be a nice articulation of a complete toolkit to support startups, and I'm not sure we've done that yet. I don't think that there is kind of the entire toolkit in a box that startups that we need as a community to support startups. Communitech has done a fantastic job building a startup support network and support services. We've got some of them here in the Small Business Center in the City Hall. But I think to do this well across the country, you need to kind of package the methodology, package the best practices for providing startup services. That would be very helpful at this point.
That's a great idea. Thank you. And can you tell me what quantum mechanics is?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Thank you very much, Rod.
My pleasure.